President Biden is meeting with his cabinet at the White House this afternoon.
That's right. This meeting comes on the heels of his third trip to Pennsylvania. In the past week, the president traveled to West Mifflin on Labor Day. His latest trip, along with his previous visits to the state, reflect the president's commitment to ramping up support for Democrats ahead of November's midterm elections.
CBS News reporter Sarah Ewall-Wice joins us now with more. Hi there, Sarah. So you covered the president's Labor Day event in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, just outside Pittsburgh. What did you see and hear?
You know, the president is taking some of his recent achievements, legislative achievements, on the road. He spoke there speaking about the American Rescue Plan, speaking about the Inflation Reduction Act, speaking about the CHIPS and Science Act, and also talking about the bipartisan infrastructure law. He talked about it. This is a very informal speech that he gave after a speech earlier in the day in Milwaukee. He talked about it in how it's creating jobs, how it's helping rebuild the middle class. Of course, he was speaking to union workers there. The other side of this, though, is the president did talk about this in terms of going after MAGA Republicans. He continued some of that rhetoric that we saw from his primetime speech in Philadelphia, even in this more informal setting. He talked about how you can't love the country only when you win, and took aim at President Trump in this more intimate setting. We expect, as he continues to go out and campaign for folks on the road throughout the rest of this midterm cycle, that this could be a line of messaging that he doubles down on with these criticisms, specifically of some Republicans, MAGA Republicans, as he puts it.
Really, really interesting, Sarah. And I want to turn now to former President Trump, because, of course, Saturday marked his first rally since the FBI searched his Florida estate last month. You attended that rally and then spoke to some of Mr. Trump's supporters about the search. Let's play a little bit of what one of them had to say.
I think it's illegal. They had no right to do it. All they had to do was ask. He'd give them anything. He's the president. He has the right to take it, just like any other president.
Wow. So, Sarah, was that similar to what most rally goers had to say about the FBI search? And what did Mr. Trump himself say about it during the rally?
Yeah, so that was one of a dozen people I spoke to heading into the rally. That woman specifically said she had never been to a Trump event before and was turning out for the rally because of the search of Mar-a-Lago. She wanted to show her support. But every single person that I spoke to talked about this in terms of it being illegal, it being a witch hunt. They talked about it being a political hit job. A lot of what they were saying specifically reflected or echoed what President Trump has been putting out in interviews and on social media, specifically Truth Social statements, since that search had happened. Keep in mind, that search was carried out with the FBI obtaining a search warrant. They have removed documents that were marked as classified. But when he spoke on Saturday, the president attacked the FBI and the Justice Department, calling them vicious monsters. He talked about this in terms of a travesty of justice and compared what happened to him of something that would have happened in a third world country. And without any basis, he talked about how the timing had to do with the Biden administration ahead of the midterms. So really going on the attack there, not providing many facts in those attacks, but that is something that we've seen his supporters time and time again echoing as they come out to support him. And it is something that we probably will continue to see as we move forward with this midterm cycle for those who are getting all of their news and all of their information directly from the president, former president.
Sarah Ewall-Wice in Washington, thank you so much for that.